we are. It is Friday evening, 7:14 p.m. here in Florida. It is whatever time it is, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And we're going to be hanging out here for, let's call it an hour. So, tonight, little hour-long stream. Topic of conversation is what is your favorite scene in all of Star Wars. I will get to mine after a little bit. We'll chit-chat and shoot the shit. And the thing is, it's impossible to just pick one, right? Even when I said I'll talk about my favorite scene, I had a couple that were like spinning around in my head, right? I can't pick one, so I'll talk about a couple. That's why I added in parentheses the S. So yeah. Anyway, welcome guys. Ginger Jedi Unboxings with Max, Elijah Neal, Michael Young, Ethan, RA's Reviews, Phantasmic Ears, what's up, Brandon, Caretaker Wanted, Cameron Taylor, ICTOA, Cap Cold Blood, what's going on, man? Good to see everybody. Welcome, one and all. I listened to a little bit of it, Christian. I could barely listen to it because I was making my daughter a bath, and it was super loud, and she was running around, and I was like, I'll listen to this later, so I just hit pause. But yeah. Anyway. Check your DM real quickly. Right now? Let's see. Jesus, I have so many unread DMs, dude. It is ridiculous. Okay, I'll check this out after the stream. We're available tomorrow or Sunday if you are. I'm not available tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. Honestly, weekdays work better for me, man. Weekdays work better for me if you guys are at all if that's an option whatsoever. Well, I'll hit you back. But yeah. Nice, Sean. Or the opening to Revenge of the Sith. The long shot, the long intro. There you go. So I love I have a couple favorites. The Binary Sunset is one of my favorites because of. And I've talked about all this stuff before, so I'm more interested in what your favorite ones are, you know. But for me, Binary Sunset kind of embodies the entire, I don't know, the choice that Luke has to make, right? Two paths. Is he going to stay home and help his uncle on the farm, or is he going to go off on these grand adventures? Is he going to follow his dream, you know? It's always been one of my favorites. Also, at the end of Return of the Jedi, that is my favorite lightsaber fight of all time. It's conversation. The lightsaber, in relative to other lightsaber fights, it's barely used, and it's all conversation and tension, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, let's see what you guys say. The best scene for me is Anakin and Padme looking out the window in Revenge of the Sith. It's the calm before the storm. What's up, Sickhead? I'd have to watch it again. I think I can picture it in my brain. Is it dark? Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, man. Binary Sunset gives me hope and wonder. Love it, man. What's up, Chris? Luke lifting his X-wing from the ocean, and Ahsoka versus Vader, and so many others. I haven't got to Ahsoka versus Vader yet, so I know that happened, so it's not like a spoiler or anything. Oh yeah. Yoda lifting the X-wing. Yeah, I mean, everything Yoda. Everything Empire Strikes Back, right? A little bit of mystery, a little bit of mysticism. A little bit of magic. Gotta love it. The final scene of Empire. Oh, BP. Are you specifically talking about with the galaxy in the background? Dude, I love that shot. As a framed image, I love it. It is one of my favorite just visuals in all of Star Wars. That just boom, that one single shot of, Luke and Leia and 3PO and R2 looking out at this immense galaxy Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. Holdo maneuver, losing breath. Yeah, the Holdo maneuver is fantastic. I've talked about this before, like a lot of people had an issue with the Holdo maneuver, but I put myself into the category of like an emotionally driven Star Wars fan, right? I'm not a details-oriented Star Wars fan. I don't give a shit if the Holdo maneuver broke some kind of laws of Star Wars. Cool. I don't give a flying fuck. Did it impact you on an emotional level? Did it look great? Did it leave you breathless? That's what it was going for. It didn't want you to go, but it broke the laws. It broke the Star Wars. Dumb. You're watching Star Wars for the wrong reasons. Dumb. I loved it. Anyway. RA's reviews. Emma, Tinker Tanner talks, and Carter Lovejoy. I appreciate you guys. RA's reviews, looks like he was first. On my screen, at least. My favorite Star Wars scene, says RA's reviews, is a tie between Luke burning his father at the end of Jedi and the Han/Ben reunion in Rise of Skywalker. So, you're talking about the Rise of Skywalker, Han and Ben. That was one of my favorite scenes in that entire movie, for sure. It was almost like a play-for-play of the entire conversation that they had from the Force Awakens, but obviously with a different outcome. Yeah, that entire sequence was great. Definitely one of the best things about the movie. Boom. It was such a gut punch for sure. At the end of Jedi, when Luke is kind of, talking about victory celebration, right? Just bringing that up. It fits with, once you know the background of Anakin, victory celebration kind of fits with, instead of Yub Nub, it fits with what we know is going on, right? With the funeral pyre, saying goodbye to his father that he basically just met not too long before. But yeah, it's a pretty great scene. This big celebration going on, and Luke is kind of, he's celebrating, but it's also a somber moment for sure. And he's celebrating after the fact, and just like, yeah, it's he's alone. I don't know. Good selections for sure. I need to watch Rise of Skywalker again. I'm really looking forward to it, despite me not really caring for it the first time that I saw it. But, I've seen every other Star Wars movie a bunch of times. I will absolutely get around to seeing this one again. It's just a matter of time. It is very, very difficult to find time to watch anything. As those who have children know. My daughter's almost 2. She'll be 2 in a couple weeks. And goodness gracious, are the terrible 2s a real thing? Hey, please don't stick that in the toilet. Fuck. No, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Don't pour the cat food all over the floor. Ah! Fuck. Oh man, gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. Anyway, I appreciate that, RAs. And Emma Kitely, Kilty. Did I say that correctly? Kilty. Probably not, because I'm a big dummy, but I appreciate that, Emma. Thank you so much for the super chat channel support this evening. Emma says, the death of Anakin. No lightsabers, no spaceships. It's just a boy who has to say goodbye to his dad. Yeah, that entire sequence, the lead up to that moment even, is some of my favorite stuff in all of Star Wars. I love, you might have heard me briefly talk about it, but the lightsaber fight even is very subdued. All the sequel or the original trilogy lightsaber fights were compared relative to prequels and whatnot. But it was a conversation, and then in Vader's kind of silent redemption without the no, he's watching his son get tortured, and his son is begging for mercy, Father, and you see him look back and forth, Emperor Luke, and then the sacrifice, and he dies, and yeah, let me, look at you with my own eyes. Yeah, it was just fantastic. It is potentially one of my favorite. Just you take a 20-minute chunk of that movie, might be my favorite stuff in all of Star Wars. Yeah, it's those moments like that stick out to me as a Star Wars fan, right? Binary Sunset, perfect example, right? No lightsabers, no spaceships. It's just a boy who has a dream, and is he going to execute on that dream? Well, he's kind of forced into it because his uncle and aunt are bones. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Emma. Good choice as always. There's no wrong answers here. I love it. And Tinker Tanner talks. Thank you so much as well, man. My favorite scenes is every scene where Palpatine loves being evil and when he does a 900-degree spin of doom. Is that what it's called in the video games? The 960-degree spin of doom? Yeah, I mean, I like, it's fun to watch the prequels or especially the Clone Wars Tinker, knowing the outcome of everything, knowing, you can watch it and you can see Palpatine scheming and plotting and planning and moving the chess pieces. All of that's fun to see, absolutely. And I love, my favorite Emperor is obviously original trilogy Emperor. I'm HelloGreedo. I love the original trilogy. Did you guys know that? Because he's already established and he's just kind of like on the throne. He's ruthless. And he just wants more power, But no, I completely agree. I like Palpatine. Other than Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker, that's the only Palpatine that I really do not like. And you guys know that I've made a video or two about it, and I've talked about it on live streams. Blah. What could have been, I suppose. Oh well, can't think like that, right? Oh, you spelled Palpatine wrong. I should have been saying Palatine. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Hope you have a good weekend. And Carter Lovejoy just pre-ordered the Skywalker Saga from Best Buy yesterday. Can't wait to pick it up on Tuesday. When are you getting your copy of The Rise of Skywalker? I'm definitely not going to get the Skywalker Saga from Best Buy. As much as it looks really cool and it would be awesome to have all that stuff, I can't bring myself to spend like $200+ on movies that I already have. You know what I mean? It's just like something deep down in my soul. I'm not a collector. I haven't bought shit the only things that I've purchased since 2012 is like a Black Series Kylo Ren and a metal diecast Stormtrooper, and that's about it other than the movies. So yeah, like I can't bring myself to buy that giant box set. But it does look awesome. There's 27 discs in it. It's just like, that's another Xbox. Like I think it's like $250. That's like another Xbox. That's crazy. That's a lot of stuff. Is that how much it is, or was somebody bullshitting me? Skywalker Saga Best Buy. 4K. Oh, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, and it comes with Blu-ray as well. $250. Goodness gracious, it comes with digital as well. Yeah. It's kind of like, I own multiple copies of all the movies on VHS. I own all of them on DVD, but with one copy, like one print. I didn't buy any of the DVD. Oh yeah, I did. Oh my God. Going through this move, I've just unboxed like a ton of old DVDs and stuff like that I have. A lot of them went to Goodwill, just because I don't care about physical media much anymore, unless I like love the movie. I don't give a shit about like keeping. What did I see today the Die Hard trilogy? Like, I love Die Hard, but whatever. I mean, it's just taking up space in my house. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just getting old. But so I'm gonna get my copy of The Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars and some of my favorite movies from the past, are the only physical media that I buy nowadays. So The Rise of Skywalker. What does that come out on 4K physical? Rise of Skywalker Blu-ray. That comes out, and it's a beautiful cover. I love the cover of the 4K. Maybe this is just a Target exclusive that I'm looking at. I don't know. Ultimate Collector's Edition. I love the look of that cover. March 31st it comes out. So, oh wow, that'll be out, and everywhere's closed. So maybe I'll go ahead and order it. But yeah, it's weird, man. As much as I didn't like the movie, I'm pretty excited to watch it again, just out of curiosity if I like it more. As you guys know, I've basically liked 2 out of the 5 modern Disney Star Wars movies. I liked Force Awakens and I liked The Last Jedi. Solo was just a big shrug of the shoulders to me. Rogue One is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies, and The Rise of Skywalker is pretty low too. So, yeah. Anyway, Carter, long story short, soon. But I appreciate that, man. Spidey's Gaming, HelloGreedo is a Disney show. What do you mean by that? I literally just said that I liked 2 out of the 5 movies. People are, who have you heard that from? Ah, Spidey's Gaming. Don't be a silly son of a bitch, you goober. Cap Coldblood, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. So who do I got here? Cap, Vince, Eric, and Caretaker. I appreciate that, guys. Cap Coldblood and the prequels, Grievous's 4 lightsaber reveal, the single most intimidating thing in Star Wars. Then Anakin becoming Vader. That music was amazing. Rise, Lord Vader. Yeah, no, I love that scene as well. The Grievous stuff, I can understand. See, you know this, Cap. I like Grievous in Clone Wars way better than I like Grievous in prequels. Even though Grievous in Clone Wars isn't in there a lot. You know, we saw more of him. We saw his home. We saw some of his motivations. That goes for all the villains in the Clone Wars. But yeah, as a visual, as a thing, in Star Wars that, as you said, is intimidating. I can completely understand that as a moment for sure. Somebody pointed this out to me years ago. Maybe it was a friend of mine. I really don't remember. But they pointed out to me when Grievous reveals all 4 of his lightsabers, Obi-Wan doesn't flinch, doesn't show any emotion. He's just kind of sitting there, standing there rather, like he's literally in front of a green screen and has no idea what's going on in front of him. And ever since somebody pointed that out to me, that's the only thing that I ever look at that moment. Like Ewan McGregor's non-reaction to what he's seeing right in front of him. You know what I mean? It's just no like stance at the ready, no preparation. I don't know. It's just kind of funny, but yeah. I need to watch the Anakin becoming Vader scene. I feel like I recently watched it just because I wanted to see the Tarkin at the end for something. I think I was making a video. What was that for? I can't remember. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Cap. Hope you're doing well, man. Gotta like when Chewie yells like Tarzan. Beloved! That was in Revenge of the Sith, right? Chewie, Tarzan, yell. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Doesn't he do it in... Is that a special edition change? Yell. Doesn't he do it on Kashyyyk as well? In Revenge of the Sith? Tarzan. Why can't I find it? Tarzan. Chewbacca of the Jungle. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. But was it in Revenge of the Sith? Am I, like, completely misremembering something? Okay, yeah. Return of the Jedi. Does he do it again in Revenge of the Sith? A random Wookiee screams like Tarzan in Revenge of the Sith. Gotcha, Isaiah. I appreciate that. Interesting. Okay. I haven't seen any of the prequels since maybe 2014, leading into The Force Awakens, so very fuzzy. But I have like a memory, one of those false memories, you know. It's the bear. It was always the Barrett Steed Bears. It was never the Barrett Steed Bears. One of those false memories, man. But anyway, Vince, you let me down another rabbit hole, damn you. But I appreciate that, dude. Hope you're having a fun weekend. Got some good plans. And Eric King, thank you so much as well, man. When Anakin is at the temple, Padme is home, both staring out the window, not knowing their future. No dialogue, but so much emotion on their faces. It's at the temple. Yeah, it's... Once again, Eric, like... There's moments like that I appreciate in, like... And I really want to watch the prequels again, only because I've watched the Clone Wars. I have this giant 100+ episode context to layer onto everything that came out 20 years ago, and I really want to so even with the context of the Clone Wars, I bet that scene that you're talking about, Eric, is even more impactful, you know. So yeah, I would love to watch them again with kind of new glasses, you know. It's like having a new set of glasses that is, I don't know, has a different perspective on things. And maybe I'm sure my like or dislike of my I don't know, my opinion of them won't change that much, but maybe I will kind of appreciate the prequels more with the entire batch of context that the Clone Wars offers, you know. But maybe I'll do that soon. I probably won't get around to it until my daughter's old enough to watch them, so it'll probably be a while. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Eric. Caretaker and Cap, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that, guys. Caretaker says, saw a comment explaining Rian Johnson and JJ as Star Wars directors. Rian Johnson is one who knows the lyrics of Born in the USA and can explain it. JJ sings it drunk on 4th of July. That's a funny little metaphor there. I like that. Rian Johnson knows the lyrics of Born in the USA and can explain it. JJ sings it drunk on the 4th of July. They both, they both appreciate it on a different level, maybe. They both get it on a different level. But they execute their love for it in very different ways, I suppose. I mean, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I think are solid movies. The Last Jedi is my 4th favorite Star Wars movie. The Force Awakens is a close right after that, 5th. And I thought they were such great, chapters back to back. Just really fantastic and well done. Different styles, different tones. Just, I really liked them. And then The Rise of Skywalker, I was so excited for, man. And it just was a shrug of the shoulders when I got into that theater. Just, man, oh well. But that being said, I am excited to watch it again. So, Caretaker, I appreciate that, man. I like it. We'll have to come up with some more of those. I like that, though. That's a fun game to play. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Cab Coldblood, thank you so much for the channel support this evening as well. For the sequels, it's Let the Past Die, Poe being interrogated in TFA, again, super intimidating. Then it's Rey stabbing Kylo, and their kiss in The Rise of Skywalker. Let me take a quick sip. I barely remember a lot of that sequence in The Rise of Skywalker. I barely remember that. I barely remember that. Like I said, I'm excited to watch it again. Poe being interrogated in TFA. Yeah, my favorite memory of like Poe being interrogated in TFA, that's a fantastic scene, and it's one of my favorite cuts as well, like Poe yelling, and then it cuts to that door opening and Kylo walking out, and just a matter-of-factly saying, you know, what has he said? The map is in a BB unit or something like that. Just like Poe yelling, cut to door open, Kylo just walking out and saying, "We know where it is. We got it from him." Like, no bullshit. I thought that was fantastic as well. But yeah, for the sequel trilogy, we're talking about favorite scenes, Cap. When it comes to my favorite sequel trilogy stuff, there's moments, there's moments that I love that are just kind of a good example of what I mean by a moment is like the garbage will do, when it's revealed that the Millennium Falcon is what they're about to run towards in The Force Awakens. Perfect way to reveal the Falcon. Just it's garbage, get to it, fly it, fun. But then there's scenes that I love. Like at the end of The Last Jedi with Luke on Crate. That was one of the best twists and reveals. I love it. It was one of my favorite movie-going experiences, too, being in the theater and seeing that for the first time. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes of all time as well. That revelation, that moment was so clever. I really loved it. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, Cap, I appreciate that, man. And once again, I need to watch a little bit of... I need to rewatch some Rise of Skywalker. It's in a droid. It's in a droid. BB unit. No, it's embarrassing. Don't do that again. Braden Birmingham, thank you so much for the channel support as well this evening, man. Sorry, guys. One of my favorite scenes is from Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan goes to Padme about where Anakin's whereabouts are, and she refuses to tell him. The music and acting is by far one of the best scenes in the franchise. Her loyalty to Anakin potentially got a lot of people killed because of Anakin was a monster, right? It's interesting, Braden. I've said this before. Like, I know exactly the scenes that you're talking about, but. And I can kind of picture him in my head, but the picture is extremely fuzzy, and it's almost mute. Unlike the trench run in A New Hope, or the lightsaber fight in Return of the Jedi, or every what I mean from the original trilogy. It's very interesting how I know exactly what you're talking about, Braden, but. I don't have that same, I didn't watch that 1,000 times as a kid. You know what I mean? It's not a part of my blood. It's interesting. But I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, Braden. A scene like that is why I'm excited to rewatch the prequels with the context of the Clone Wars now. I literally finished the Clone Wars 12 hours before Episode 7 debuted. It's kind of like a last-minute sprint to watch the remaining 20-something episodes, and I did it in 5 days, I think. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Prequels definitely have some of the best music in the franchise for sure. Love it. So yeah, I need to watch them all again, right? I'm planning on I'll have to watch them after I watch the 2003, was it 2003? Animated Clone Wars miniseries. I gotta watch that. People have been waiting for that. It's been a long time. I'm gonna watch that after the Clone Wars Season 7 finishes up. Then I'll watch that 2003 Clone Wars thing. And then I kind of want to watch some Caravan of Courage and make some videos of that. I think that would be fun. I think that would be a lot of fun. I could almost do an inside Caravan of Courage video and have some fun with that, But anyway, Braden, I appreciate the hell out of that. I totally understand, but it's one of the standout scenes for me in the prequels. I was 9 when Revenge of the Sith came out, and it stayed with me for as long as I can remember. Yeah, no, I completely get it. I was... it came out in 2005, so I was 19. I was 19 when... Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I was 19 when that movie came out, when Revenge of the Sith came out. And it's still probably my favorite movie-going experience, Braden. I saw it with my buddies. I dressed up as Greedo. My buddy dressed up as Han. There's a picture of us in the book. If anybody's ever read it, you can flip to the page and see it. See him and me. And yeah, it's one of my favorite movie-going experiences. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. In the Muddler, anytime Darth Vader makes a small quip, I just love it when Vader is not being super serious and just having a good time. All right, yeah. I mean, like, what? Pray I don't alter it any further, that kind of stuff, or don't choke on your aspirations. Yeah, people forget that Anakin can be a little sarcastic and don't be too proud of your technological terror. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah. I like it too. But it's like, sure, they're quips, but it's also extremely intimidating, right? He's almost like, yeah, he's almost just like toying with the people. It's more of like an intimidation tactic almost. I don't know. But yeah, I dig it, man. What are some other ones? Let's I'm sure somebody has a list. Darth Vader quips. 15 times Darth Vader's unique brand of black comedy made us spit blue milk out of our mouths. Oh, I'm sure it wasn't that funny. Lacking faith and its disturbing ramifications. Okay. Lack of... that's funny? Your master has deceived you into believing you can become a Jedi. That's funny? You will die braver than most. A truly lousy meal. Oh, won't you join us for dinner? Is that what he says? We would be honored if you would join us. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yep. Love it. Bullying Lando. Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly? Love it. He's as clumsy as he is stupid. This is a fun list. Apology accepted, Captain Nita. That's a good one. Yeah, that's one of the best examples right there. Apology accepted, Captain Nita. Anyway, I appreciate that, Muddler. I might make a video out of that. Let me let this goddamn cat in. Come on, girly. Jump up. She'd be sitting there meowing 30 minutes from now at the door if I didn't let her in. All right, but I appreciate that, Muddler. Come on, jump up. Come on. Jared Cook. Who do we got? Jared Cook, AG Scorcho, Ryan, Luca Dandy, Cap, and Brandon Miller. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I'm pretty long-winded here, as you guys can tell. I will get to you ASAP. Jared says the Luke versus First Order and Kylo, Adam and Mark A+. So, yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite scenes in all of Star Wars, man. It is without a doubt in my top 5, maybe in my top 3, maybe in my top 2, maybe my favorite. But no, I absolutely love it. I will never forget the moment that, you know, that it was revealed that Luke wasn't actually there. That is the kind of twist and turn that I love in a Star Wars movie. In a movie, you know, if you don't have any of that kind of stuff, what are we in it for? You know, you gotta have surprises, you gotta have twists and turns, and that certainly took it up to another level. I loved it. It's like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite scenes in all of Star Wars. But I completely agree, Jared. I love it. I've made many videos. They're lost in the shuffle nowadays, but I've made many videos of talking about that that scene. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And AG Scorcho, thank you so much for the silent support this evening. I don't know if you meant to type a little message in there or not. If you did, let me scroll up. Let me scroll up real quick. Oh, AG. Okay, there we go. AG says, I think as time goes on and people distance themselves from what they wanted TLG to be, they can take it for what it is and appreciate it more. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was, you know, it's definitely a movie that I've watched and not grown to love, but I like it with more every rewatch. Does that make sense? I liked it. My initial, my first theater going experience, I liked it a lot. My biggest complaint about it was some of the tone and pacing. If I remember correctly, that's kind of what I talked a lot about in my first review. But no, I completely agree, man. I think it's one of the most interesting Star Wars movies ever made. The most competent Star Wars movies ever made. The most tense and herky-jerky in terms of surprises and twists and turns ever made. And that's what I'm looking for in Star Wars. I'm not looking for predictable shit here. I want a good, solid movie more than just some kind of fan servicey like massage on a fan's back. You know what I mean? Give me something unique. Give me something juicy. Give me something that I'll think about. Don't just throw a bunch of machines and lightsabers at me. That does nothing for me. Don't throw characters that I'm already familiar with at me. That does nothing for me. Give me new stuff. Give me surprises. I don't want mundane. I don't want to mulch over the same shit. And TLJ kind of answered that hope for me. But yeah. Anyway, AG, I appreciate that, man. And Ryan Capshaw, thank you so much as well. Ryan equal Yoda explaining the Force. JJ equal Yoda. That's a really good one too, Ryan. That's a really good. This is okay. So, you know, what's funny is that neither of those are negative, right? I mean, people will put their own negative connotation and spin on it. For me, I don't really like seeing Yoda like that and fighting, and it just does nothing for me. It's always been goofy. But it's not a lot of people love that. A lot of people love Yoda flipping, playing lightsaber tag. So it's not necessarily negative. I can see if I put come up with your own thing on Twitter and people started doing it. I think I love the idea of doing that on Twitter. Like starting a thread of people posting their own spin on that comparison, Ryan. But I could see it devolving into absolute shit really fast. People taking things the wrong way or getting super defensive when all we're trying to do is have fun, right? But no, that's a really clever one too. I like it a lot. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Luca Dandy, good to see you. I appreciate that. The 2003 Clone Wars is pretty good. Super different to the canon show. Also, Captain Frodo got me interested in Clone Troopers. Yeah, I have the earliest memory I have of the 2003 Clone Wars is probably maybe like around 2007 or 8. One of my the guy that actually went to see Revenge of the Sith with, and he dressed up as Han, asked me if I had ever seen it, and he recommended it to me. I never saw it though. I never watched it. He said I'd probably like it. Give it a watch. Never did. And in terms of things that get recommended to me all the time on this channel, man, that is by far the number one thing that gets recommended to me. By far. I mean, but it was probably the Clone Wars, the actual 2008 Clone Wars series before I started watching it. But within the past 2.5 years, the biggest requested thing that I watch has been that 2003 animated short series or whatnot. But yeah, man, I'm excited to check it out. After watching everything. after watching all of Clone Wars and whatnot, I'm very curious how it'll compare, which one I'll like more. I'm sure I'll like the Clone Wars that I've been watching more, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. It looks very different for sure, but anyway, I appreciate that, man. Let me take a quick sip here. And Cap Coldblood, Grievous killed every Jedi he ever fought or made them retreat. Only Obi-Wan, the ultimate master of the most defensive saber form, could beat him with a blaster. No, yeah, I mean, I wish it I like Grievous with the context that I have of the Clone Wars, right? So, if you can justify, if you can look at that moment that I was talking about earlier, with that in mind, I can completely see why it makes sense. To me, he was on a green screen. But no, there hasn't been a single like villain from the prequels that I didn't like more because of the Clone Wars. Does that make sense? And I guess that's probably expected with anything. When you have 100+ episodes of something, you just spend more time with characters and stories, and you get to know things better. So it probably comes as no surprise. But yeah, Grievous is definitely one of those examples. But Dooku is probably the best example that I'm talking about right now. Is he, as a character in the prequels, meh, okay, no, why, all right. But in the Clone Wars, I mean, motivations are there. There's backstory there. He's a great villain in the Clone Wars. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Cap. And Brandon Miller, when the Death Star fires on Scarif and Jyn and Cassian look at the oncoming wave, the understanding of self-sacrificing for the greater good. That's a fantastic moment. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen Rogue One maybe 6 times. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and I've probably seen it 3 times at home. Or maybe something like that. Where are you at? Well, jump up, dummy. Jump up. Can you guys hear the cat? Well, jump up. You don't want to jump up? All right. Yeah, that's one of the best moments in that entire movie. I mean, it's kind of funny with Rogue One. People always talk about how great the ending is, and it's true. It's a fun, intense, like white knuckle, sequence at the end. And obviously, I like it too, that ending. But it was just not enough for me to thoroughly enjoy the movie. But that moment, yep, absolutely. Just watching it come. Here we go. Into the unknown. Frozen 2. I've been listening to that a lot lately. Anyway, Brandon, I appreciate that, man. And another Brandon. Spelled different. Brandon, thank you so much. Jim Kern. Brandon Jim Kern. The scene in Empire, for my ally is the Force. It surrounds us. Oh, no. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. No, all of Yoda. But what does he say? For my ally is the Force. And then he talks about I'm gonna get the entire quote. For my ally is the Force. Quote. And a powerful ally it is. Life creates it, makes it grow. Its energy surrounds us and binds us. You must feel the Force around you, here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere. Yes, love it. Brandon, that's my favorite Force stuff. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Yoda. That is, yeah. Yoda in Empire is kind of the very definition of the Force to me. When I think of the Force, I think of that kind of I've always described it as kind of like an Eastern mythology meets 1970s hash head mysticism. You know what I mean? And Yoda just kind of embodies that. I'm so glad there are moments like that in Empire. I mean, Empire is such a different type of movie than A New Hope, right? A New Hope is just triumphant and the good guys win. They literally get medals. And Empire just kind of turns everything on its head. Our heroes are down on their luck. One of them is frozen. One of them got his hand cut off. And then there's this awesome, mysterious, magical, impossible to define force that gets dissected by Yoda. And I love it. I'm so glad that exists in Star Wars, you know. It's yeah, Yoda. My favorite Yoda quote, you want to know my favorite? It's all his life has he looked away to the future, to the horizon. Wait, all his life has he looked away. Let me get the actual quote so I'm not murdering it. All his life has he looked away to the future, the horizon, never his mind on where he was. What he was doing. I love it. I don't know. It's just a good life lesson, right? Stop daydreaming. All his life has he looked away to the future, to the horizon. Never his mind on where he was. What he was doing. But anyway, could talk about some Yoda all night, right? But I appreciate that, Brandon. Oh, and another Brandon. Mr. Phantasmic Ears going in as the third Brandon. Nice. Got a lot of Brandons this evening. Any other Brandons in the chat? Say, I'm Brandon, like I'm Spartacus. Oh, crap. I just unplugged my headphones. Oops. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Did that actually stop the music when my headphones unplugged? That's weird. But anyway, I appreciate that, third Brandon. Hope you're having a good one, man. I hope everybody's staying safe out there in the world, huh? But yeah. Jags Rule 21. Oh, hell yeah, Jags Rule. I'm sure you know that I'm from Jacksonville as well. They don't rule, but we can say that. Jags Rule 21, thank you so much, man, for the super chat and channel support this evening. The scene where Anakin and Padme stare out the windows, worrying over what the future holds in Revenge of the Sith. You're like the third person to bring this up, Jags Rule. It's a scene that I can kind of picture, but as I said earlier, I don't have the same love or just kind of like instant recalling of memory that I do with the prequels that I have with the originals. Does that make sense? So that's interesting, man. You're like literally the third, maybe more, have even said it, and I've missed it, but have mentioned that exact same scene, and the music has been mentioned as well. So I really need to get back and I really need to rewatch the prequels, right, with the context of the Clone Wars, and I'm sure I'll be more emotionally invested in what's going on because of the in-between, moments that kind of the Clone Wars offers for context. But yeah. Anyway, Jags Rule. Go Jags. We will see what the hell this next season has to hold. I have no idea what to expect. Well, I know what to expect. I just expect disappointment as usual, but but anyway, man. Nice to see another I'm assuming, well, maybe you're not from Jacksonville, but I'm assuming you are. So cheers. Cheers to Jags. And Tiny Wire, thank you so much as well, man. Tiny Wire says, easily the see you around kid reveal and TLJ. TLJ for life. Yeah. No, that's easily one of my favorites of all time too. It might, man, when I wipe away nostalgia goggles, it's kind of the same thing, right? When I wipe away nostalgia goggles for like Shadows of the Empire, for example, I recognize that my favorite single player Star Wars game is Jedi Fallen Order. When I wipe away the nostalgia goggles that I always wear for a lot of the original trilogy stuff, Luke on Crate might be my favorite scene in Star Wars. it's not even just the scene. It's not even just the craziness that's going on. It's the reveal. It's you don't really know what to expect. I mean, like when he got pummeled by all the blaster fire and everything, I don't know what I thought. I thought maybe, okay, just Luke is super powerful now. He's coming in. He's gonna be Superman, right? Nope. I am so fucking glad they didn't do that, guys. So many people wanted that crap. Man, this was a beautiful moment. Oh my god. And it's gonna go down as a beautiful moment. I mean, it's gonna be remembered as one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars. No question about it. But yeah, if Luke went out there, lightsaber swinging, some Les Paul guitar, started playing some distortion. Get some, Luke. Gag me. But anyway, I agree, Tidy. I appreciate that, man. And Oscar Rodriguez. Oh, did I skip somebody? Oscar Rodriguez and Jags rule once again. I appreciate that, guys. Oscar says, I think I'm the only person who likes the Anakin built C-3PO and shows it off to impress a girl he likes. I never really thought about it that way. I just found out Padme was 4 years older. That's it? She's only 4 years older? I thought it was more than that. Interesting. How much older? I believe you, Oscar. I believe you, Oscar. I'm just curious. Padme was 5 years older than Anakin, according to this. I don't know. So yeah, 4 or 5 years, whatever. Interesting. That's funny. I've never really thought of it like that, Oscar. You want to see the robot that I built? It's really cool, isn't it? Yeah, I built it. Yeah, I built it. I built it myself. It's pretty awesome, huh? Never really thought of it that way, Oscar. Yeah, it's one of those things where unnecessary connections I've just always had a problem with, Oh, cool. Anakin built C-3PO. Neato. Oh, cool. Boba Fett is I don't know. There's just, you guys know what I mean. Connections in Star Wars that, I mean, there's so many of them, but there's just connections in Star Wars that are almost like too convenient or just too goofy and just don't make sense and make the universe feel smaller, So I get maybe why you like it, but for me, it's just one of those weird connections that I just don't understand why. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. Jags Rule 21 and Daniel Ambrose, thank you guys so much. Jags Rule 21, yeah, man, it's depressing being a Jags fan. Also, I'm from Jacksonville as well. Nice. As long as those clowns in the front office are there, it will never be good. Yeah, we'll see. I've stopped caring about off-season news, so it's kind of nice. I go into the beginning of the season not knowing a goddamn name, and I don't follow any of the drama for the past couple. Well, really, since my daughter was born. But yeah, man, hell yeah! I've been living in Jacksonville since I was 12. I'm 33 now, so 21 years. I used to have season tickets to the Jags from. Well, when I was in the Navy, I had season tickets to the Jags from 2007 to 2011, and used to go all the time. Love it, man. So, all the breweries. I'm actually drinking a Veterans United Scout Dog right now. Veterans United, Southside Boulevard, or offshoot. But yeah. Anyway, man, very cool. Small world. We used to live in Riverside, Avondale area. So we sold our house about a year ago. And yeah. So we moved out to the burbs, kind of out towards like an hour outside of the city. But yeah. Small world, man. I appreciate that, Jax. And Daniel Ambrose, when Roddy Piper and Keith David are fighting in the alley over a pair of sunglasses. Oh, wait. That's not Star Wars. That's They Live. Sorry. But you love that scene, obviously. I don't know if I've ever seen They Live, honestly. I know it's John Carpenter, isn't it? Yeah, John Carpenter. Okay. I've actually never seen it, man. But I love. How have I never seen this movie? A politically subversive blend of horror and sci-fi. They Live is an underrated genre film from John Carpenter. Honestly, I don't know how I've never seen this, Daniel. I've heard, so many people have mentioned it to me. I love the visuals that I've seen with like the obey and obviously the glasses and just all that shit. I don't really know anything about it, but oh man. A homeless drifter, let me read this. A homeless drifter discovers a reason for the ever widening gap between the rich and the poor, a conspiracy by non-human aliens who have infiltrated American society in the guise of wealthy yuppies. Yuppies. With the help of special sunglasses that reveal the aliens' true faces and their subliminal messages, marry and reproduce, submit to authority, our hero tries to stop the invasion. This satire of Reaganomics and the greed is good era also has one of the funniest and longest fight scenes in American cinema. Need to watch it. Need to watch it. Roddy Piper, Keith David. Wow, Keith David. What have I seen him in recently? Keith David. I saw him in something. Or no, what am I thinking of? Maybe it's an older movie. Cloud Atlas, no. No. Crash. Something about Mary. God, what is They Live? Platoon? The Thing? Okay. Interesting. Anyway. I appreciate that, Daniel. Yep, I'm gonna have to watch that soon. They Live. There you go. I'll keep it here. Luke Spicer, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support this evening. I appreciate that, Luke. When Luke calls out to Leia while hanging from the weather vane Cloud City in ESB. Leia. Luke? That connection, man. I wonder if that's one of the reasons that Lucas decided to make them brother and sister. You know. That connection in ESB. There has to be a reason. Why are they connected through the Force? There has to be a family reason. Everybody has to be connected. Everybody has to be connected. C-3PO was built by Anakin. And Leia and Luke are brother and sister. No, I like that moment as well. It's kind of one of the first... Empire Strikes Back has a lot of firsts, right? Really, there's no Force stuff in A New Hope. There's really not. Obi-Wan does a little bit when he's searching for he makes the click noise, distracting the stormtroopers and the Death Star. And then, Luke trusts in the Force, but it's not craziness. Empire Strikes Back, you got like Yoda lifting stuff, and you got that Force connection there, yeah, so there's a lot. I don't know. It was a movie with a lot of firsts. It was really interesting when you think about it that way, right? Star Wars doesn't exist. You see one Star Wars movie, and then the next one comes out. It's brand new, and it just introduces so many more concepts to this franchise that ultimately becomes a trilogy. I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah. No. Anyway, Luke, I'm with you. I appreciate that tonight, man. And Tony Izzo, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Final super chat and channel support of the stream, and you're gonna hate me, Tony. So Tony says Kanan telling Ezra about Order 66 is a good one. So I actually haven't seen that far into Rebels. I've only seen the first season of Rebels. For whatever reason, man, I stopped watching it. The first season was out. The second season came out, and I didn't watch it. I don't know why. I've heard it's kind of interesting whenever the Clone Wars and Rebels gets brought up, you have two camps that say Rebels is better, Clone Wars is better. It's just two completely different camps. It's very interesting to me. I really liked what I saw of the first season of Rebels. But for me, when I compare like all 6 seasons that I watched of Clone Wars and then the first season of Rebels, I'm sure Rebels gets a lot better. I've heard nothing but good things about its progress. But yeah. So I don't really know exactly, like with the Clone Wars, just virtue of being a Star Wars fan, I knew exactly what was coming. I knew what happened basically with everything in that show, but I still watched it. With Rebels, I'm not 100% familiar with what happens. It's kind of interesting how I've kind of avoided a lot of spoilers there. And even if I do get spoilers or somebody says something to me that is a spoiler, I don't care. I literally don't care. I doesn't bother me whatsoever. The show's been out for a long time. It's my own damn fault, right? But yeah, so Tony, after I'm done with season 7 of the Clone Wars, I'm hopping to the 2003 Clone Wars animated series, and after that, which will take no time to watch, I'm gonna jump into Rebels. And I'm going to make just probably one big Rebels video instead of doing individual episode videos. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And JJ, what's up, man? And Jags Rule, thank you guys so much for coming in with the final super chats of the stream. Who was first? JJ, Mr. Just Jedi. I can't pick one scene. Happens with everything. Can't pick one song or one movie or scene. That's because you're a normal human being, man. By the way, downloaded Empire at War. Now I have to learn. Nice. Yep. In fact, let me go ahead and... did I already download it? Let me bring up Steam here. Dude, that Half-Life Alyx looks so damn good. I wish I had it. I can't bring myself to buy a... oh, here we go. Installing it right now. Cool. I can't bring myself to buy a VR headset, man. Like, I'm hoping in 5 years or so the price will plummet and it'll just become as affordable as like a controller. But right now, it's just, I can't justify buying it. I don't play enough games, you know. And it is... I'm about to say it's almost done. A gigabyte just downloaded. Boom. That was a gigabyte in what, like 5 seconds? Hell yeah. Gotta love fiber. Gotta love fiber. Gotta love fiber. But no. It's impossible. That's why I added that parentheses S. That's why I added the parentheses S up there, just because nobody can pick just one, right? It's impossible for me to. Boom, Empire at War is done downloading. Sweet. Yeah, it's impossible for me to pick one as well, man. But, you know, today it might be something else might be a favorite. Tomorrow something else might be a favorite. That's just how it goes, you know. That's depends on my mood, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, let's plan doing some Empire at War next week at some point. I'll hit you guys up. We'll figure it out for sure. I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably mess around with it this weekend just to get a feel for it again. And maybe see if it's possible to get like 4-on-4s or something like that. But I'm looking forward to it. And Jags Rule 21, thank you once again for the super chat and channel support. I did see it, JJ. Hell yeah, with the Kylo mask, absolutely. Jags Rule, thank you so much once again. Other scene when Vader stares off the bridge in Endor when Luke tells him, "Then my father is truly dead." The silence by Vader is so strong. Yes, it's no head movement. He doesn't follow Luke walking away. He just stares where he was watching. You can just kind of feel. You can, yeah. It's as you said. The silence by Vader is so strong. That's a good way to put it. That goes back to why I hate one of the change of Vader yelling no at the end of Return of the Jedi. No. Stupid. The silence by Vader is so strong. You feel way more emotion at the end of Return of the Jedi when Vader's about to save his son. When he's just looking back and forth. You feel way more emotion when he says nothing. It's that silent redemption, right? No, I love it too. Absolutely. That entire I mean, as I've said before, that entire ending of Return of the Jedi with Vader, Luke, and the Emperor is some of my all-time favorite Star Wars. Might be my all-time favorite Star Wars. That just entire sequence. Let me let this damn cat out. Once in, once out, once in.
The firing of Starkiller's laser. I love how we watch the laser's journey from multiple people till it destroys the New Republic. And when Han chases a couple of stormtroopers only to find a room filled with them.
Adam Allison, thank you for the incredibly generous super chat and channel support this evening, man. Ridiculous, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that, Adam. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're kicking off a good weekend. But give me one sec to finish those thoughts real quick. But yeah, Jags Rule, I completely agree, man. I think we see eye to eye on a lot of this stuff. But I appreciate the hell out of that channel support this evening. And Adam Allison, the firing of Starkiller's laser. I love how we watch the laser's journey from multiple people till it destroys the New Republic. And when Han chases a couple of stormtroopers, only to find a room filled with them. Yeah, so, in The Force Awakens, the giant super weapon that destroys multiple planets. It's a great visual, absolutely, and I do love the Han chasing the stormtroopers thing. It's kind of interesting. Maybe you don't know this, you probably do. I apologize if you do, but so in the original version, you know how Han is chasing those a few stormtroopers, right? In the original version of the movie, when he rounds the corner, there's just those few stormtroopers. There's like 6 of them, I think. And that's it. There's just 6 of them that have turned around and are now looking at Han. And that's it. In the special editions, it was changed to as like an entire garrison of stormtroopers. So maybe you knew that. Maybe you didn't. It's kind of an interesting... it's kind of funny, Adam. Like, a lot of people that I've talked to did not know those changes. They grew up with the special editions, or they grew up with the 2011 Blu-rays, and they didn't know that these things weren't in the original movie. So it's kind of fun to talk to people. Yeah, there's an original version of the film. You should see that too, and just see how it was originally. But yeah, man, it's a very funny and clever, and Harrison Ford plays it perfectly. You know, his look of surprise as he rounds the corner and kind of like breaks with his feet really quick it just feels super authentic, you know. But yeah, Adam, I appreciate that, man. So, yeah, I like the visual of the Starkiller thing, Adam. I like the music is awesome that goes along with that scene too. So my biggest issue with The Force Awakens was actually Starkiller Base. The fact that we have another, I don't know, planet-destroying super weapon. It just kind of felt really unimaginative to me. It was even worse than like Return of the Jedi, just because this was the third time we'd seen it, right? A super weapon like that. That was my only issue with that movie. And also, but that didn't take away from, it's an awesome visual, right? So I wish they would have done something different, though. I'm kind of sick of giant super weapons by this point. No more giant super weapons for 100 years. Let's steer clear, right? Let's steer clear. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Adam. Extremely generous this evening. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. That goes for everybody here. But Adam, thank you so much once again, man. It is time for me to jet. It is time for me to jet. I'm going to pop some popcorn. Me and my wife are going to watch something. Probably going to scroll through Netflix for 15 minutes until we decide what the hell to watch. We actually started watching The Good Place. I have been giving that show shit for so long. I've been using it as an example of something dumb that people watch, I'm going to watch The Good Place. We started watching it. It's a fucking great show. It's great. It's a really good show. I thought it was. I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was actually kind of like a religious show, like I don't know, some sappy Hallmark kind of thing. And we started watching it. It reminds me of, it really reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It is super goofy, and just weird, and it's quirky and it's fun. Yeah, but anyway, that's probably what we'll end up watching. But anyway. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't really have much going on this weekend in terms of videos or streams even. I might do a stream tomorrow night, but probably not. If anything, I'll upload a video tomorrow, but we shall see. Yeah, so what should I So yeah, you guys know me. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I'm working on a couple videos right now, and yeah, hopefully I'll get those out in the next couple days. But yeah, have a good weekend, guys. To everybody who supported the channel through Super Chats this evening, I appreciate the hell out of you. To everybody who tuned into the chat and typed in the chat, thanks for keeping this thing alive. To everybody who just tuned in and didn't say a damn word, thanks for tuning in and not saying a damn word. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good morning, afternoon, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. This is a fun song to end it to. All right, guys. See ya.